The door splinters inward, a shower of raw wood exploding into the small, lamplit hotel room. Jackboots thunder across the floorboards, black leather and field gray uniforms flooding the space. A Luger pistol gleams under the weak light, leveled at a man and a woman frozen in the sudden chaos. The woman, Odette Sansom, meets the Gestapo officer's glare not with fear, but with a cold, unblinking defiance. Her mind races, a whirlwind of protocol and instinct, her hands subtly moving to shield the man beside her, Captain Peter Churchill. This is the moment every agent dreads, the catastrophic end of a life lived in the shadows. We pull back from this fractured instant, the air thick with shouted German commands. We see Europe, a continent engulfed in the flames of the Second World War. A map bleeds with the creeping stain of Nazi occupation, vast territories held in an iron grip. From across the English Channel, a new kind of warfare is born, a fight waged not with tanks and bombers, but with whispers and sabotage. The Special Operations Executive, the SOE, is forged in secrecy, its purpose to set Europe ablaze. Its agents are ghosts, trained in the dark arts of espionage, demolition, and silent killing. They are lawyers, teachers, and shopkeepers turned into weapons. And they are mothers. In a quiet English home, a woman named Odette Sansom tends to her 3 young daughters. Sunlight streams through the window, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Her hands, which once soothed fevers and buttoned small coats, now trace the coast of France on a map spread across her kitchen table. A photograph of her family sits on the mantelpiece, a reminder of the world she is fighting to protect. A government letter rests beside it, a formal request that will irrevocably alter the course of her life. Her face is a study in resolve, a quiet decision made in the heart of a peaceful home to step into the brutal heart of the war. We see her in the grueling training camps of the SOE. Rain lashes down on a muddy obstacle course as Odette, her knuckles raw, hauls herself over a wooden wall. She learns to handle a Sten gun, the cold metal unfamiliar in her grip. In a dimly lit room, she practices Morse code, the rhythmic tapping a secret language of resistance. She is taught how to kill a man with her bare hands, the movements practiced until they are a fluid, deadly ballet. She is no longer just a mother. She is being reshaped, hardened, and prepared for the suffocating paranoia of occupied France. The belly of a Halifax bomber vibrates around her, the drone of the engines a constant, deafening roar. Below, the French countryside is a patchwork of blackness, a sleeping giant under enemy rule. The green light flashes. Odette clips her static line, takes a deep breath of the cold night air, and launches herself into the void. The silk of her parachute blossoms above her, a stark white flower against the ink-black sky. She lands hard in a plowed field, the damp earth of her ancestral homeland rising up to meet her. A figure emerges from the treeline, a whispered code word exchanged. Her war has begun. She operates under the code name Lise. We see her moving through a bustling French market, a basket on her arm, her eyes constantly scanning the crowd for the telltale trench coat of the Gestapo. She is a courier, a vital link in the chain of resistance. A close-up on her hands shows her passing a folded message, disguised as a grocery list to contact. Her smile is easy, practiced, betraying none of the glacial fear that lives in her stomach. She works alongside Peter Churchill, her commanding officer. We see them huddled over a clandestine radio set in a dusty attic, the faint crackle of a transmission from London the only sound. A bond is forged between them in the shared danger, a professional trust that will soon be tested by fire. And then the betrayal. A network compromised. A name given up under duress. We are back in that hotel room, the barrel of the Luger unwavering. Odette and Peter are shoved against the wall, their hands bound tightly behind their backs. They are pushed down a stone staircase into the damp chill of a cellar. The heavy oak door of Frane's prison slams shut, the sound of the bolt echoing with grim finality. The interrogation begins. A single bare bulb hangs from a wire, casting long, dancing shadows on the concrete walls of the interrogation room. A Gestapo officer, his face impassive, sits behind a plain wooden desk. He studies Odette, his eyes searching for a crack in her composure. He offers her a cigarette, a small, hollow gesture of civility in this place of profound cruelty. She refuses. He wants names, locations, radio codes. Her reply is a simple, repeated lie. Peter Churchill is the mastermind, a novice she knows little about. She is merely a pawn, insignificant. She deliberately draws the attention, the suspicion, the violence onto herself. In a separate room, Peter faces his own interrogator. It is here that a desperate, brilliant gamble is made, a seed planted by Odette. With a confidence he does not feel, Peter declares his true identity. He is a relative of the British Prime Minister, Winston Churchill. The interrogator's eyebrow raises, a flicker of doubt warring with avarice. A prisoner of such value would be a prize, a shield against the coming Allied victory. The lie hangs in the air, a fragile shield that might protect them or shatter with catastrophic consequences. The Germans believe Peter is the prize, but they suspect Odette is the key that unlocks him. And so they turn their full, horrific attention to her. We see her dragged back to the interrogation room. Her face is pale, her body bruised, but her eyes burn with an unquenchable fire. The officer's voice is low, menacing. He insists she sign a document confessing their activities. She refuses. He picks up a piece of iron, a fire poker from a nearby stove, its end heated until it glows a malevolent orange. He presses it to her back. A silent scream contorts her face, sweat pouring down her temples, but no sound escapes her lips. She will not give them the satisfaction. She is thrown back into her cell, the cold stone floor a small comfort to her seared flesh. But they are not finished. The interrogation continues for months, a relentless cycle of pain and defiance. In the most infamous session, they focus on her feet. A pair of rusted pliers is placed on the table next to her. One by one, they pull her toenails from their beds. The camera does not linger on the act, but on Odette's face. Her head is thrown back, her teeth gritted so hard her jaw aches, her body rigid with an agony that threatens to consume her. Yet through the haze of white-hot pain, she clings to one thought: protect Peter, protect the network. She offers them nothing. She tells them he is the important one, the Prime Minister's nephew. Her only loyalty, she spits, is to him. Her body is broken, but her spirit remains intact. Deemed a worthless and stubborn prisoner, she is condemned. A cattle car, packed with hollow-eyed women, rattles across the scarred European landscape. The air is thick with the stench of fear and filth. Through a small crack in the wooden slats, Odette sees the sky for the first time in months. The journey ends at a gate that arches over the railway line, a gateway to hell on earth. Ravensbrück, the concentration camp, is a monochrome nightmare of mud, barbed wire, and identical wooden barracks. The prisoners are ghosts in striped uniforms, their heads shaved, their faces etched with starvation and despair. Odette is shoved into this world of systematic dehumanization. But her supposed connection to Churchill makes her a special case. She is not placed in the general population. She is thrown into the Strafblock, the punishment bunker. We see her in a tiny, lightless cell. Utter darkness. The only sounds are the dripping of water, the scuttling of rats, and the distant, haunting screams of other prisoners. For months, this is her entire world. Food is a thin, watery soup, barely enough to sustain life. The cold is a physical presence, seeping into her bones. She keeps her sanity by reciting poems in her head, by meticulously retracing the streets of her childhood, by holding onto the faces of her daughters like a sacred talisman. They want her to rot, to fade into madness in the suffocating blackness. She refuses. The war is turning. The thunder of Allied artillery grows louder each day, a symphony of liberation on the horizon. Panic grips the SS guards at Ravensbrück. The camp commandant, Fritz Surin, a man responsible for unimaginable atrocities, now fears for his own life. He remembers the special prisoner, the supposed relative of the British Prime Minister. He sees not a woman, but a bargaining chip. The door to Odette's cell grinds open, flooding the space with blinding light. Surin stands there, his immaculate uniform a stark contrast to her skeletal frame and ragged prison dress. He pulls her out of the darkness. She is emaciated, her skin a waxy yellow, but she stands tall. He puts her in his own staff car, a sleek black Mercedes, and drives away from the camp, away from the encroaching armies. The car speeds through the war-torn German countryside, past columns of retreating soldiers and terrified civilians. This is the final, terrifying moment. Is he taking her to be executed? Or is he using her as a human shield? The car crests a hill and stops. Below them, they see the impossible. The green uniforms and star-emblazoned helmets of the United States Army. American tanks are rolling down the road. Fritz Surin gets out of the car, his arrogance evaporated, replaced by the desperate sweat of a cornered animal. He formally surrenders, not to the American soldiers, but to the skeletal woman in rags standing beside him. It is a surreal, unbelievable end to her nightmare. Odette Sansom, prisoner number 79,823, is free. We see her years later, standing in a grand, sunlit room. She is no longer in rags, but in a simple, elegant dress. Her face, though forever marked by her ordeal, radiates a profound strength. A king places a medal around her neck. Is the George Cross, the highest civilian honor for bravery. A close-up on the silver medal, then back to her eyes. They hold the memory of the dark cell, the interrogator's face, the gates of Ravensbrück. But they also hold the light of an unbreakable human will. She was the first woman to receive the award, a symbol of immense courage in the face of absolute evil, a quiet mother who became an unbreakable weapon, and a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Tell me your favorite war story I should talk about next. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video.